psychic intellect and made you my puppet.
It's a bullseye! And here's your host, Jim Boyd!
Sorry if I scared you. You'll like this bit.
Yes, indeed. You will indeed like this bit because Tom Baker always knows what he's talking about. And if he doesn't, it doesn't really matter because it's Tom Baker and he's glorious in that he is Tom Baker. He really is. I mean, like, there is, I don't know. I don't think there's any replacing. I can always imagine. I mean, I was surprised, I have to say. They found somebody to do John Hurt as well as they do John Hurt. Jonathan Kari. But still, I imagine that's still easier than finding a Tom Baker, right? There's no, I mean, I guess there is a way. I guess you can make it in AI now. You can make pretty much anything in AI. Although they keep neutering it, apparently. You know, because they make AI politically correct, they won't answer a lot of questions. Because I might offend you. I'm like, oh man, I would like that. But this whole AI thing, somewhat scary. But you know, world is changing. Oh, that is awfully hot. Nice cup of Rosie Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Man, lot going on. I have to tell you. I have a lot big fish and small fish. Shall we start with small fish? I don't know. There's a new Big Finish thing that's like a transmedia thing, like Title Victorious. I know nothing about. I'm going to try and find out something about it tonight on this show. They're announcing it tomorrow. Honestly, I think it's got to be. It seems to be occupying a similar slot that their 60th anniversary thing, Once and Future. You know, it's like I don't know what they're gonna do to entice me to get this one, especially on the back of Time Lord Victorious being like really awful. And the thing is, it wasn't. It could have been great. Time Lord Victorious was just what a painful missed opportunity of like bungled management, saving pennies and destroying the entire project. Right? That's what it seemed like to me. What it should have been. There should have been a live 2-part like book on tape reading with Jake Dubman doing it. They should have built it up. They should have hyped it, right? And it's like the abridged version of the story. If you want to get the more expanded version, you can buy the book, right? There, or you can buy the quality of the things that were contributing to it was diabolical. And the comic was useless. It offered absolutely nothing, right? It was like, you know, and I'm sorry that's what they normally churned out for the Jodie crap. But like, it was just really, really Big Finish. We love being on the wrong side of history. That's a bit mean. What can I tell you? It's more like, you know, you got to remember, why are kids so fucked up today, right? Why are they so fucked up? It's because they were brought up on Facebook algorithm. Literally, all these insane kids. Let me go. But I'm gonna. I've been experimenting with like a hardwired line and a Wi-Fi line, right? And it keeps. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's good. I like I think it's updating something. I don't know. But hopefully that will stable out. No, it still like says the signal's really low. Why is that? Again, I just plugged in a cable, so maybe it takes some time for it to log in or something. Like, yeah, for that to become the. No, so the internet says Ethernet is connected, right? Ethernet is. What's up? What's up with that? What's up with that? That is strange. Hang on. I'm on Wi-Fi, right? I'm on a Wi-Fi. 5G? I don't know. It's all confusing. It's all too confusing, mate. I do not know, but it says I got very low signal strength. But I'm connected. Am I still frozen? I think not anymore. No, I think I'm moving now. Yeah, hardwire is always better. So I put the hardwire in, but it still says I got low signal strength. All right, here, one second. Let me switch Wi-Fi, which might knock me off. So let me play something for us. I should get more skits uploaded. Oh, you know what I'm going to play? There you go. Get ready for not to be a dry eye in the house. It's right. We'll put this on.
Live too long.
No. No, please don't. No, don't, please don't, please!
Wilfred, it's my honor. Better be quick. 3, 2, 1.
Something important. I'm crashing.
Awesome. I'm sorry. I forgot how great Matt Smith is, right? You forget how great Matt Smith is until you see Matt Smith. You go, man, Matt Smith is awesome McAwesome, right? Awesome McAwesome. It says I still got weak signals. I don't understand this at all. Right? Now it's weird. I'm gonna do a speed test, right? Because it should work fine, right? It says it's okay. It's going. Okay, so it's saying this is low for me. We're saying I got a 60 megabit. No, I'm up to 80 megabit down. No, now not 110, 120 megabit download, right? Okay, that sounds pretty. 140, 133 average out at. And upload is slow, but it's at like 4.7. That should be enough. Like 1.2 should do it. Right? I don't know why it's saying it's getting weak signal. So it's literally got a hardwire. Right? I don't know. I don't want to turn off the Wi-Fi and just go on the hardwire. I think it's working. I don't know, but it wasn't that. I mean, look, it's sad seeing David Tennant go, right? Next time I have to put a clip up, I've got to find it. It was the somebody edited together a really awesome Capaldi regenerating into David Tennant. And it really worked, right? Do I have that as one of my clips? Hang on, let me have a look. Because that was fantastic. No, I got the Jodie regeneration, but not the where was that? Who did that? Was it on? It was on Facebook. Somebody sent it to me. Okay, oh man, now I got to go back. I think it was. I think over here. Okay, I'm gonna. It was a while. Oh man, there's also this as well. We got to look at. How do I get to this? It's a. Can I download Facebook video downloader? Video downloader. Let's see if that should work. Okay. So now I get the link. Where is it? Where'd it go? This is it. This is just awesome, right? But this is not the thing I was talking about. But this is also awesome. We have a lot of awesome going on. What can I tell you? Okay, that's download in high quality. Yes, obviously. I want the download in high quality. Okay, not low quality, high quality. That's better. Now, let me try and find the thing I was looking for. It was, we go back a bit, but back. Sutek. Okay. I'll go read messages. I'm seeing salacious shots of Nicola Bryant people send to me. Thank you very much for that. Never stop sending me salacious shots of Nicola Bryant. Maybe we can find it on YouTube. Is this it? No. Okay, no, it's Beatles after this. I mean, before this, right? I'm going back, right? I'm at Christmas. So it was around, November. Not that one. Oh, is this it? Yes. How do I get to this? Oh, here's good. Okay. No, I don't want to forward it. I think that's why. Hang on. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if this works. I don't know if you know how. What's this? Playback speed, quality. No, it's got to be. Oh, what's that? Hang on. I think I might have found a download button. It's thinking about. No, that's forward again. What's this one over here? Download. Oh, look at that. It's awesome. Okay, this was worth the trouble, right? This is worth the trouble. Present. Video file. I can't believe that just worked. I'm like in shock. I'm genuinely in shock.
I let you go.
I know these teeth.
Right, so there's some weird fever dream happened in the middle. I don't think it really mattered, right? I'm removing this now before I get a copyright, not strike. I won't get a copyright strike for that, but I'll get a, whatever it was. I might have to remove that from a stream in the future, which is why Rumble. If you're on Rumble, please subscribe. Hello, Rumble. Rumble is awesome. In fact, I should have if you're on Rumble, let me make sure the chat's here. Darren M is there. How Darren M in the chat there on Rumble. Rumble is my video platform of preference. Let me tell you, I like Rumble a lot better. Mainly because they like me a lot better, right? And that's always good, right? See, look, I got double the viewers here on Rumble. It's freaking crazy. I think that change might have happened when they added in this category system when you set up the live stream. Well, there's not enough categories. We've got to find out how to make categories. If I can get them to make a Doctor Who category, I could be the pioneer there. And really own that space and bring everybody in, like Dad and Noel, and we could really make that a safe space. That everyone's welcome, right? All opinions are welcome in my mind, right? Oh, that's better. Fine, we have a quandary. Before we start getting to the worlds of geekdom, and there's much in the world of geekdom to get to. We want to get to. Maybe we'll do a bit of geekdom first. Yeah. A bit of geekdom first. Video file. Where is it? It's this is out, and mine is in the mail, right? Mine is somewhere out there.
Section here, sir. You're being attacked.
Great trolley they made over it. It really is.
Stewart? Yes, I'm putting my best man onto it.
Good afternoon.
Why, Doctor!
Doctor? Doctor who?
I always find violent exercise makes me hungry. You really ought to try this cheese. It's absolutely delicious.
Good grief.
Yeah, I forgot how James Bondian he is in this season. In Incarnation, but in this season especially. I'm so waiting for this box to arrive.
Poor chap's as mad as a hatter.
Bless my soul.
Don't underestimate the Doctor.
Whoever put this together was really, really clever. With Katie Manning.
All dolled up for a night out on the town and you talked me into a joyride in this thing. TARDIS looks different.
Oh, this is for a redecoration, that's all.
Doctor, what?
I got all these like pudding basins I needed to deal with. So you know what? We'll just go ahead and put them on the wall.
Is all this about?
Londoners. Luckily, you are already familiar with stepping outside of space-time. I've been here. Yes, I am. Strange place it is, too. Place that is no place. A dangerous place where creatures live beyond your wildest imagination.
This is awesome. I feel like I'm watching Live and Let Die. I love the vibe of this. This is really cool. And I have to tell you, the Sea Devils look better in 1972. They just did. They look better in 82, for that matter.
Who really rules this planet of yours?
So that's what you meant when you talked of terrible danger.
Danger to us, you mean, Doctor, or to the whole world?
Not just danger to our world, Sergeant, but to the entire created universe.
They should run this on BBC, right? This is awesome.
Hang on, wait for me.
They even made the Time Monster not look awful. Wow. That's impressive.
Hang on, wait for me. I'm coming too.
Not this time. What a while.
Oh, no, you don't. What's happening, Doctor?
On our way, Joe.
Greetings, Princess.
A bit of David Troughton action there. There's David Troughton, isn't it? Yeah.
Greetings, Princess.
I'm sorry to hear that your journey ended so uncomfortably.
Hi, it was exceedingly inefficient.
I bet the transfer's gonna be gorgeous on this. I really can't wait. Look at that! I had all the vehicles that Poetry loved.
Oh, that's super. Thanks very much.
For heaven's sakes, Joe. Do you think this is a picnic? It's rather good, you know?
I like, where did they get this music from? It's so James Bondian.
Who is the master? I am a lifelong pacifist.
I take it that you're a changed man.
That's a very incredible. After all, I do have a great deal which to repent.
What's happening, Doctor? Are we too late?
On the contrary, Joe, I think we're just in time.
As always, Doctor. Oh, I love that shot of Benton.
Hold them, sir.
Hang on tight, Joe. Glad to have you aboard, Miss Grant.
Glad to be aboard, Doctor.
Okay, that's better than Joe Grant and the Lesbians of the Deep. Okay, I'm sorry. Much cheaper to produce and just better. Yeah, it's on its way out. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. There you go. Now, how do I move that? We go doing. Okay, so now we look to that. We need to pay attention. Pay attention, Bond. We got a new Gordon Berkeley Soup of the Week, and I'm not sure. All right, I need you to help me out with this one. This one kind of scary, but I think we should try it. I don't know. If you want me to try it and report back, I will. All right, the Gordon Berkeley Soup of the Week. Remember, last week we had hot and sour. Freaking awesome, okay? Freaking awesome. Love that hot and sour. This week he's brought us something interesting. And I keep saying, give me something new and weird and different. And he did, and now I'm freaking out. I think I've got to get it anyway. Let's have a look. So this week we have... Berkeley Gourmet is pleased to introduce a new soup in the menu. Caldo de Oso, Mexican fish soup. You had me at Mexican. Yes. Soup, also good. The fish bit scares me. Let's see what this is. Translated literally, caldo de oso is bear soup. Again, that doesn't make it better, okay? That does not make it better. Would you like some bear soup, sir? No, I'm trying to cut down. Okay. What are we up to? There is no bear in this soup. Okay, that's good because it's kosher. Nor is there any soup named after any bear. Nor is the soup named after any bear. Okay. This is all like very what's the word? Reassuring right now. I'm feeling much better. In fact, there are 0 bears to be found in the state of Chihuahua in Mexico, where the soup comes from. Now, this is the sort of thing that Gordon Berkeley would know. It really is. That's just the way he rolls. Okay. Almost a century ago, workers building the La Boiquila Dam on the Conchos River in Caramargo used to make fish soup, caldo de pesco, every day until the fish that were bountiful in the using fish that were bountiful in the river. After eating it often, they started to call it caldo de oso, translated as the hateful soup. Okay, none of this is a good selling point. Okay, the oso was shortened to oso, and so it's now caldo de oso. They hate this. What? Insanely popular in Chitalia as a home dish. It is not found in any restaurants. Made with ancho peppers, fish, Mexican spices, tomatoes, and other vegetables. The people in Chinchilla absolutely adore this soup, as you will. Please don't eat it every day. Okay. I think that's a yes. I think we have to order that soup. Okay. I think that's important. Fine. Let's pull out some eye candy and we can get to the chat. What we're doing. Doink, 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 doink. Ba-da-ba-boink. Ow! No! Had all the things were picked out to open up. I clicked it and it clicked off them. That's not good. Now we'll try this again. Okay, here we go. Are you kidding me? Okay, fine. Well, at least we've got some open this time. And we'll just add to it. Doink, 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 doink. Shazam! I mean, Shazam is doing terribly at the box office. I mean, listen. Here's why Shazam is doing terribly at the box office. It's because, first, it's boring. But secondly, it comes from the Walter Hamada era of DC movies, which was the least consistent series in a completely inconsistent series. It was... looking back, the Walter Hamada reign, it was an absolute shit show. They were going in 20 different directions at once. Right? They were DC movies. Let's have a look. We can pick out the Walter Hamada ones where that happens, right? Maybe the extended movies. They're saying Flash is supposed to be like a masterpiece. Okay, here we go. Let me share the screen. DC Extended Universe. There we go. So, okay. So, first the Snyderverse, Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and Justice League would have been like the end of Phase 1. I mean, not the Joss Whedon one, right? So you can almost hear the Walter Hamada reign starting with the Joss Whedon, the Joss Whedon, what's his name? Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, right? All of them atrocious. Aquaman was the best of the bunch, and Shazam I actually enjoyed it. I'm saying, but Wonder Woman 84 and Birds of Prey atrocious. And they were, again, Aquaman and Shazam were just like lost. They had no idea where they were going, right? I mean, especially Shazam. And it was kind of fun. They had a lot of cool, interesting stuff going on with Shazam, but it was just lost, right? And so then we had Justice League, and everybody like, oh god, it was so good. And so then they finally hit something good with the Suicide Squad, and they accidentally finds their replacement. More complete confusion. Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and then did they have the upcoming movies? So now we got the Flash, Blue Peter. So the Flash looks like it was like the final leftover from the Snyderverse, right? It was the final thing they had to go, and I think that's just what it was, just quietly moving along by itself, right? Blue Beetle. One second, where'd my phone go? Oh, there. Blue Beetle. It seems like such a weird nothing burger. Like why would anybody want to see that? It just seems weird. Hang on 1 second. My wife sent me a picture of what she's wearing to the wedding she's going to. I gotta give a heart. Okay. That's when the we don't have it over. That's when the what's name starts to kick in, the James Gunn's verse, right? But just so much bloody confusion, right? It was not good. I was talking about Tunnel of Victorious, right? Let me go back to that for a second. Tunnel of Victorious. Let me just pull up an image of that. It really it exemplifies what went wrong with it. Tunnel of Victorious. So several things went wrong with it. Firstly, the initial image of like David, this was like while we're in the middle of the Jodie nightmare reign, right? And then suddenly this came along. We're like, what? This was Doctor Who when we were happy, when it was good. Let's zoom in on this, right? Fantastic Lee binding. Bit of artwork here. Let me pull up this picture. Go over here. There you go. Doink. Right. I mean, it had all this incredible promise. Right. Had all this incredible promise. I got halfway through talking about this. I completely forgot. And it was very, very exciting. Right. Like a transmedia event. I mean, I even like the different colored Daleks. So, problem number one. It was inaccessible. Right. It was like, this book came out here, this book came out, and it wasn't clear what you're supposed to do. It was very confusing. What they should have had is a central fan event, like a central event, which I think would have been a live stream with Jake Dubman doing a live reading of an abridged Time Lord Victorious Part 1 and an abridged Time Lord Victorious Part 2, right? And then if you wanted to expand it, you could do this, and then you could read this novel, or you could look at this comic strip and that. The other thing is the licensees weren't what they did wasn't very good, and it makes me think. And James Goss was like the guy in charge of the story, but it makes me think there must have been some massive level of BBC managerial interference, because that's what the idiocy reeks of, right? So all the attributaries didn't really add up. I never even saw who this Ood was in a dinner suit, right? If it's on this poster, we should have been able to access it in some way, right? And I'm not even sure this Ood in a dinner suit was even. I don't care. The story of Christopher Eccleston didn't fit in with this at all. We went back in time to the prehistory when they're fighting the vampires and there's a female Rassilon, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, it wasn't very good. But yeah, the contributory stories both in Doctor Who magazine and in the comic books wasn't very good. The books I didn't bother reading. The Big Finish stuff was underwhelming. I never actually saw David Tennant as Time Lord Victorious. Like, there should have been some, like, you should have seen everything on this, right? You should have had this, and then you would have gone in and got more. The Big Finish stuff was really weak, which makes me think there was, again, a lot of BBC managerial interference, or they were just making idiot decisions. Although you can tell, like, there was one where the brief was clearly do Die Hard on a Dalek time ship, which sounds very cool, and it was given to a writer who couldn't really pull it off and was interested in other things. So that didn't really work. There wasn't enough control going over the whole thing. And then they wanted to give some free content, I guess, and they did Daleks, which didn't fit in at all, and was grating, loud, awful, and embarrassing. That turned me off getting anything, right? Because it was just so embarrassing. The only bit of Time Lord Victorious I interacted with, which I liked, was the short trips. It was who wrote it, but it was, I can't remember. It was with the Ainley Master, and that was very, very good. Other than that, everything else, Drek. So I can't imagine how they're going to sell this new one to me, right? But like that's essentially like Time Lord, and it's tragic because it should have been great, right? It should have been great, right? You could have. Let's say you're doing it in the middle of lockdown when we had all that, like, group stuff. Everybody's like, we were all used to being on the internet together, right? Sharing experience on the internet at the same time. We could have had Jake Dubin do a reading, and then David Tennant could have been in costume, man, as Time Lord Victorious, right? Like, wouldn't that, again? I bet he would have done it as well. And it's tragic. It was mismanaged, right? And given that I know James Goss is talented, and the people involved that I know of are talented, this has to be a case of massive BBC mismanagement. That will be my guess, right? That will be my absolute guess. But what a shame. That's Time Lord Victorious. What a shame. Right, let's have a look what's on the channel. Or shall we just get to that? We'll get to the chat. Hang on, we'll go over there. Doink. So this triggers people apparently. Apparently, who'd have guessed? The top 10 Stephen Moffat Doctor Who stories. Yes, I am right about this. I'm keeping doing more shorts. I'm doing a top 10 countdown, but then I thought I'll do like Russell Davies stories. I'll do Robert Holmes stories. I think after Stephen Moffat, I think we'll do the top 10 Robert Holmes stories. I hope he's done more than 10 stories. Or we'll rank the Robert Holmes stories. So I usually reuse this image on a much better thumbnail. Where do I have it here? Yeah, this is one coming out. It came out today, right? Where Russell Davies says, "No, we're not doing children's TV shows," which is a shame, because I think he wants to, because he's got a big connection to children's TV. That's where his career started. He's always been a big defender of it as well. But he will say in this streaming landscape, it's got to have the same budget as an adult TV show, right? And it will, by definition, get a smaller viewership. That's why the BBC children's TV department is a good thing, because it's supposed to cater for a minority audience, right? And Sarah Jane Adventures was able to exist with a lower budget of Doctor Who, right? And it was fine, but not anymore, sadly. Although I do think it's going to be successful enough that they will generate as much as they content as they want to do in a couple of years. Yeah, people will be eager to get in the Doctor Who business, I think 2 years from now, Doctor Who will be what Marvel was 10 years ago. Okay, that's I don't really do, right? And the MCU 10 years ago was what? We're in what's 2013? Hang on, 2013. It was 2013 Marvel movies. Let's have a look. Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, and it wasn't a good year. I quite like Iron Man 3 though. I thought it was better than Iron Man 2, but Thor: The Dark World. Not that good. Christopher Eccleston nearly killed himself doing it, I think. He did not like that at all. Poor guy. And, you know, I recount my problem with the Unit series by Gemma Redgrave. She's just boring. What do you want? She's dull. She's not Captain Jack. So Rusty Dave says, look, I know she's boring, but trust me, I have a plan. I guess you must do. I mean, you're Russell T. Davies. You must have a plan of some sort. Where are we up to? What's going on? Let's find where's the thumb for this show right now. Red Nose Day stuff. Yeah, we got to cover all that stuff. We're going to do that. And we're also going to look at this new Doomsday thing, see if we can work out anything about that. There's already a thing to purchase a bundle on Big Finish, apparently. We're going to be looking back. Yeah, I'm going to say, I'll show you. We're going to be looking back at Red Nose Day past as well. I thought, that actually sounds like quite a nice little feature. See, I just think, what sort of stuff would I be interested in? And I do, let's do that then, right? I like the idea, the whole, like, Doctor Who in charity. So here, we got this. Start the camera. So we're going to be looking at articles. I went through my archive of Doctor Who magazines. And we got this one. We're going to be looking at. Look how young and happy he is. Again, I love. I think he's got a social conscience in a real way, and I think he likes that he's helping people by having fun and being silly. What year is this from? Where is it? 1 second. Is this issue 304, 2009? Man, we didn't know we had it so good. Actually, we did. I knew we had it so good. And then we got this one we're going to look at as well. Yeah, look, Doctor Who when we were happy. When the world wasn't about to end. When was this one from? 2011. Yeah, there you go. Blimey, that's longer ago than I thought, wasn't it? Blimey. Fine, let's get to the chat. Where are we starting at? Jordan Lee is here. The hottest Buffy girl for me is I like the Dushka. Yes. Not even close. Although she was a little bit past it by the time she was doing Doll's House, which really should have been the most spikeable one. Eliza Dush. There we go. How old is she now? He must be. Man, she's at 42 now. She looks stunning now. 1 second. Let's just pull up some imagery to remind the world who Eliza Dushku is. There you go. I think this is a very representative image of it. Yeah, but I've got a few. 1 second. Over there. That one. And I assume this is from the same photo shoot. What else do we have? She was in all those like cheerleading movies as well, wasn't she? I don't know. Actually, my daughter's like that. There you go, doink. And there we go. I think that's a Faith picture. It was Faith that was a character, right? Okay. Let me just add those to the over here. Doink. We go here. There we go now. Where was I? I'm back. I'm over here. There you go. Liza Dushku. Just so remember. Zoom in a little bit. That's Eliza. You remember Eliza Dushku. Yes. If you don't remember her, you'll remember her now. Wow, she looks stunning. Yes. More. This is from the India Herald. I don't know why this is in the India Herald, right? But it just is. This is that's her as Faith, I believe, or around the Faith era. Yes, very good. That is Eliza Dushku. Yes, absolutely agree. 100% the hottest Buffy girl. Not even close, right? It's not even close. I hang my head in shame that I couldn't come up with it. Right? Yeah, you are right. You know what? I'll write myself a note. Right? We need to remind the world of that. Okay, 1 second. The hottest Buffy babe and the problem with Time Lord Victorious. Doink. There you go. These are the things we cover so far tonight. Now let's get to the chat. Where are we up to? So Jordan, yeah, Buffy babe, you absolutely correct. Darren M is here. How are you doing, Darren? Thank you for joining us. We're up to Soda Engines here, BD Ridges here, Big Finish. We love being on the wrong side of history. Yeah, well, listen, they have just, they're theatrical lovers, right? I mean, look, they didn't realize they were on the wrong side till way too late in the 40s, right? It was way too late. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde is here. How you doing, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde? Rather than been placed by an ice warrior, I was right, must have been frozen. You got to switch. You got to switch on a Mac. I don't switch what I did. It seemed to switch, right? Yeah. It seems like it's weird. It's saying I got a low signal strength. Connection's unstable. It's saying if you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it. No, but it's not Wi-Fi. I don't know. It must be the way it's like integrating with the fiber optics. So something with that, right? Still don't understand. Never mind. Look, it seems to be working. Right, I picked the saddest moment. But the end has been prepared for. Yeah, everybody hates to see a bit of David Tennant go. Fantastic actor. Matt Smith to David Tennant. I wrote Matt Smith to David Tennant, but I kind of do too, frankly. I demand a broadband refund. It's working. It's just I think I set it up wrong. I was playing around with different cables today. Shitsam. So James Gunn. Yeah, look, but it's not his. This is not his one, right? The lock screen is on is the old school pre-new Apple Rabbi. Nostalgic. I don't know what any of that means. The lock screen is on. The Flash is a masterpiece. I want to know what Tom Cruise is on. Let's have a look. I wonder what Tom Cruise is on, right? But he is saying, I'm like, it looks, I don't know. The Flash sequence in Justice League was freaking incredible. Even with weird, creepy Ezra Miller. Although I was watching Prometheus the other day, right? Was it Prometheus? Or the other one? No, it's the other one. Covenant, right? I really like that movie. But it's got Jesse Smollett in it. And he did like that big hoax hate crime. And so now I see him, I'm like, ugh, how disgusting. Like, oh, can you get somebody else in that? And, just edit him out. That would be so much better. Does anyone care about Ezra Miller movie? I don't know. It's getting good buzz, right? Did it end with Jodie flying into the day to save Tedal the man off of being Eki Thumbers? Well, that was pretty. No, she just turned up in it for some reason. I don't even know what. It was boring, right? What went wrong with Jodie in a Dalek comic? It was shit. What went wrong? Jodie Whittaker. What went wrong? ESG, right? ESG says there are not enough of this identity people in the boards of companies. So then the companies said, okay, we'll get more of those people. So they had to hire people who weren't good at their jobs, like Kathleen Kennedy, for example, right? And they fucked everything up and they blamed everybody else. That's basically what happened over the last 7 years. Let's all agree Chris Eccleston is anti-fun. But it's kind of fun in how much he's anti-fun. And also the when he is being fun, it's a lot of fun. Right? I mean, I do like the what was it, Dr. Dance's the one before that, Empty Child, right? When he's talking about Red Alert being all that dancing, right? And when he's being fun, he's actually quite fun. But yeah, he's not Mr. Chipper, right? Must be Red Nose Day was crap. I heard it wasn't that good. But we'll watch the things together. She was a bad guy. I like that about her. We all like that about her. Fine. Let's look at the Red Nose Day stuff. Because which one is it? I think over here. I heard it's somewhat underwhelming.
90 seconds till on air, Mr. Henry.
I'll be out in a sec, thank you. Comic Relief, Salford, make some noise!
Oh. Yeah, he's not a great actor, is he? In all fairness.
I've got to stop having them all.
I mean, I have to tell you, because you always complain about racism, I'm not that interested in laughing with you anymore, right? Oh God.
Oh, I've got to stop having them all-you-can-eat hotel breakfasts.
Jeez, that was not funny. That was a fun. Did you hear that? Like dung dung dung. That was the joke falling flat.
Ready to go?
I feel funny.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
No, I feel sick. Can you get me a glass of water, please?
Can I get water for Lenny Henry ASAP?
Why can't you get a glass of water? Walk and get him a glass of fucking what the fuck? Go walk and get him the water. What's wrong with you? Okay, I'm irritated, and you're not getting money at me now.
No, not ASAP. It's CBE. Forget the water. What I need is a doctor.
Ooh, this is like what you're watching your auntie dance. Ooh. I mean, like, this is shit. I mean, I could do better with this on my bloody Mac. And the performance, you know. This is shit. I can't believe this. Oh, and of course, you got to use the Jodie music. Really?
I know these teeth.
What? Why are they using the joke? Okay, whatever. But that just reeks of lack of care. Okay, so we're just replaying the regeneration.
What? I'm going to be hosting Comic Relief? What?
Late. Don't mean to.
So he wasn't hosting that. That's all he was in, wasn't it? I don't know, man.
Be rude.
That's kind of like the Oscars. The Oscars was cringe, like cringe-o-matic. It was like Jimmy Kimmel trying to be funny. What's happened to that guy? He is not a funny guy. Okay, like he just seemed like kind of a sad guy, right? He is not a funny guy at all. All right, whatever. That's weird. I don't know. Ratty fan says, how much money actually goes to good causes now, especially after the high pay? Yeah, I agree with you. My wife works for a charity, and most of the money goes to the charity, right? But it's very rare. Right, by Jewish law, which I guess a lot of charities don't follow, it's got to be minimally 50%. But I don't know. Lenny Henry is as funny as cancer, and I should know. Blimey, dark humor there, but okay. I don't know. They should be using Series 2 to 4 music now. Yeah, Russell David should have been on that. But he's probably doing so bloody much. Okay, let's see Graham Norton. Oh, I used to like Graham. Yeah, this was not funny. She had the best performance in the whole thing.
Don't mean to be rude.
Although she wouldn't get a glass of water. Glass of water with Denny Henry. Why can't you just get him a glass of bloody water? What's wrong with you?
But can you sing?
How dare you? I got the voice of an angel.
Fair enough. Let's not judge by look.
Is that Nick Briggs, you think? Because, and also they're doing the Dalek voice in studio. Why not like do it like properly? Oh God, this is so annoying.
If you looked at me, you'd think I was about to sell you cardigans at a festival.
Let me sing! Let me sing!
All right.
Okay, to donate £40, text 40 to 70702. Why would I do that? I don't know. Like, I don't know what the charities you're giving to, but man, I hope they're not desperate for the money.
Keep your plunger on. There you go.
Bloody hell! That was the joke.
Work it, make it, do it, makes harder, better, destroy humans. What did you think? Adjudicate!
Yeah, ethnic Briggs. Oh, mate. That was a bit cringe. That really was very cringe. Bloody hell. That was super cringe. Man, oh, man. I feel like it's I mean, like, they hype that. I don't understand, right? Genuinely, I do not understand what the hell's going through their heads, right? I do not get it whatsoever. Yeah, okay, let's have a look at Twitter, see if there's any new Doctor Who news there. Because I want to see about this Doomsday thing, see if anybody... Doctor Who... I have one news article. Maybe there's more flying around now. Okay, well, we got this. Tomorrow, Doomsday is coming. You got like a ticky clock thing. That's good. Shall we download the ticky clock thing? Yeah, we'll download the ticky clock thing. Well, the ticky clock thing doesn't look very impressive. I hate to tell you this. Twitter video downloader. Doink. Doink. There we go. And we download this, and then we'll I guess we'll save as Doomsday. All right, it looks better than Red Nose Day, but blimey, that is not, you know, a yeah, that's not a high mark. It really isn't. Blimey. that was really bad. Anyway, I was looking to see if there's any more about this stuff. It doesn't have a hashtag yet. No. Shots fired. One of the Doctor Who fans. This was from yesterday. When he apparently was over, she liked Jodie and welcomed her casting. She felt a bit let down by the writing and immediately got a round of applause. 1 second. Just share that. Let's share that little screen. Chrome tab, Twitter. Like, so it's Fraser Hines, Wendy Padbury. Who is that? Is that Nick? What's her name? Polly? Polly? Is that Polly? What's her name? Annette Wills. Could be. And who's the bloke? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm a bit stumped at that one. So Wendy Padbury said she welcomed her casting and felt let down by the writing. I don't understand. Look, I understand you welcomed her casting. You know, but it ended up being a huge embarrassment for all women everywhere. Right? I hate to be the one to break it. It didn't work out well. It worked out what we call badly. Right? I don't know who the bloke on the end is, but he's like, what? You like Jodie? But yes, I understand. Look, why do the Jodie fans always feel under attack? Because they know it's shit. You know, I mean, look, and it's okay to like shit. right? But also, I think they know they only liked it because it was a girl, right? Yeah. Bottom line, they see through themselves. Oh, there's my camera. There you go. 1 second. Any other news going around? That's a good little story. I like that. Doomsday's arrived. Yeah, 1 second. From 2 hours ago. And we got... okay, fine. So we got a lot more news now. Here we go. And over here. So they must have dropped it. Okay, fine. We'll go over the whole thing. Hang on. And now we got the main video. And the press release. It's only 13 seconds long. Two. I guess we're getting a real trailer tomorrow for whatever this is. And where is it? Where is it? They mustn't remove the press release. Where'd it go? It just like they gave me a link and it took me nowhere. What? Yeah, they must have taken that down already. Oh, it's a joke thing. Oh, that's very clever. Well, we're going to look at that and say that's very clever. Man, I'm very impressed by what I just saw. That's really, really impressive. Hang on. Any new news? What's this? Man, I'm so behind on Big Finish. So Doctor Who. Fine, we have little to no news. But here, we'll look at the news that we do have about this. Doink. Hey, look, I'll have something to talk about on my show tomorrow. We have, this was the first little teaser. Okay, that didn't inspire that much confidence. And then, this is the thing I just saw, which I think is somewhat brilliant. This is a fake follow-up, which I thought was quite clever. I was like, yeah, okay, let's take all this. All right, I think that's funny. Given that it sent me to a fake trailer. A fake website. Let's look at the story that goes with it. Share screen. Exclusive. Big Finish involved in multi-licensee Doomsday project. Man, I hope it's better than Time Lord Victorious, right? Nerdgasm that's the name of this website, has exclusively learned that following this morning's teaser announcement on the official Doctor Who social media channel Doomsday coming tomorrow, that the event involves multiple licenses and Big Finish is involved. Okay. Tomorrow morning, this morning's 11 a.m. teaser featured a clock. We just saw it. With the time ultimately stopping at about 4 minutes to midnight. And this is likely an allusion to a real-world doomsday clock amended by, we're much closer to that in real life, bulletin of atomic scientists to varying degrees, minutes to midnight. It's a minute to the illustration. Okay, it's how close we are to the apocalypse. So just tell us is that it, everything? It's what we already know about Doomsday. It's been known since November last year that BBC Audio will be releasing a special anthology audio set known as Four from Doomsday. Originally listed by Darren Day, the listing has been updated to state Darren Jones as the writer. Jones has worked on various audio releases for BBC Audio and Big Finish, including Cry of the Vulturess, Mediocre, Rhythms of Destruction. I didn't listen to that. In addition to this, Jones also was notable working at part of the multi-license title Victorious. There he contributed to the script for BBC Audio's event, didn't listen to it, didn't care. Forum Doomsday has quietly sat around on a single-line synopsis since November, simply stating a quartet of stories with a linked theme, Doom. Right? It is currently unclear as to whether or not Darren Jones has written all 4 stories or whether the synopsis is likely to come tomorrow. But originally at the end of the year, the release has been scheduled for June 1st, 2023 release, but in January, it shifted to August 3rd, my birthday. That's very nice. A cover has yet to be revealed. Okay. Big finishes, Doomsday. Listings have begun to appear on the site for the Doomsday Project with a new range page and bundle. Let's have a look. I wonder if they're taking it down already. It looks like they're taking it down already. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's down. Yeah, error. We have a problem. The bundle's been removed as well. No, it's there. Yeah. But there's no options added to it yet. Yeah, 1 second. I'll show you in a second. Having appeared today, we have been able to verify the nature of these pages with an individual aware of the project, which remains anonymous. So, it's understanding that Darren Jones has also contributed to this section of the project in some capacity. The individual we spoke to could not clarify whether or not the license is involved in whether or not further licenses are involved in the Doomsday Project. I guess this is why things have to be rolled out in their own way, because this is very underwhelming, right? This is very underwhelming. But okay. Here we go. So, share screen. And you can see there will be a bundle tomorrow. Oh, a little bundle of joy. Yay. Let's see if there's any news from Big Finish. That's what's going on at Big Finish. I'm just embarrassed. I'm so behind on everything, right? I got so much to listen to. What they got here. Fireball XL5 Stingray Adventures incoming. Well, tell me more. A rare pair of audio dramas based on the Jerry Anderson TV shows are set for general release in March and April by Big Finish Productions. 21 minutes of adventure. Okay, so this is silly. They did the transfer of the vinyl, right? Oh, but it's by Nick Briggs. Well, okay, now we've got to read the whole thing. Originally launched in 1962, Fireball XL5 was created by Jerry and Sylvia Anderson. And yeah, we know Fireball XL5. It ran, Stingray ran from 64-65. Protecting the Ocean in the 26th. Fine. These two full cast audio adventures, previously only available on CD as a Blu-ray set extras. Each squad faces was a bigger threat than ever before. Okay. For the first time, XL5 Cloud of the Billion and Stingray Fake Terror, which both love the superb voice artists Mark Silk, are available to pre-order. Is that fine? So this must have been made relatively recently then, right? This was like so fine. This was something done for the Blu-ray release. It sounds quite dull, but okay. If you like these things, you can like. How much are you charging for it? Hang on, let's have a look. It's $9.73. Okay, that's what you want. That's what you want, baby. Any other new news? They got involved Hartman and Torchwood. Don't really care. More times that don't really care. No real news. Okay, from there. Doink. Close that. Right, let's have a look at news, and then I want to look at Last of Us. Start over here. Doink. What's going on? Okay, latest of the presses. We have Dr. West shares rule he broke on Sarah Jane Adventures. Okay, no. That's what we were just reading about. Doomsday. Okay, everyone's talking about Doomsday. I guess what? Okay, tomorrow's stream we will talk about Doomsday, right? Doctor Red, two perfect alternatives to the Master. What? Okay, but you can have the Master too, right? Doctor Who boss Vito's story in Sarah Jane Adventures. We'll cover. We'll do a general Doctor Who's news roundup tomorrow. No plan for kids spin-off. But I think it's the vibe is they want to do it, right? My vibe is there's no plan, but when they can, they will. Okay. Yeah, nothing there to really talk about. Fine. Let's go over here. The Last of Us. Because this is an interesting thing to review. Because sadly it's made in the current day, but it's made from a extremely strong story. We'll do the Red Nose Day stuff after this. It's made from a extremely strong story that I think still holds it together all the way through, right? Even though they made quite a lot of, I think, significant mistakes with this adaptation. We're going to go through it episode by episode. But the story, I mean, I think the story is what made the game so incredibly good, and the characters, they did one. Okay, and I'm going to use the word woke, right? But we're going to have to define it. Woke is an adherence to social media algorithms' current idea of what is moral and what is not, right? So it is moral, and it is not moral to have a show without platforming some form of non-heterosexual relationship, right? That's what woke is. So by that definition, it's woke. Still through that, the story is very, very, very strong. Pedro Pascal is look, he's got the guardian of youngling things down, right? That's basically his niche he has. I mean, I don't know. I think he's kind of lucked into this. Be honest with you, I think there's probably many actors who could do this thing. He's fine in it. He's very, very good, right? I don't think he was uniquely good, and the casting of this isn't fantastic. I mean, let's face it, he was very safe casting. If you want that kind of maternal, he is the acceptable face of masculinity, right? In the woke world. Again, what is woke? Woke is the mindless adherence to a social media algorithm's idea of what is moral, right? And that's why it changes constantly, right? When people say it's always changing, yeah, and because it says what's moral and what 5 years ago, taking children to a highly explicit sex show, with simulated sex and cross-dressing, and it wouldn't be woke. That would have been weird. Now it's wrong not to. And you can tell these algorithms are kind of run by AI, because it's making like AI type thinking decisions, and it's not like they're secretly taking over. It's more like people are ceding power to them because they're lazy and stupid, right? So that's why things keep getting more extreme. It's because the AI says, "Oh, people like that, so we'll do more of that." So people like that, so we'll do more of that, right? So you have that wokeness again going through a very good story. That's the thing. It's a very good story. again, it's not wonderfly executed either, right? Rabbi, I know this is all part of your beliefs, but everything, beliefs and everything, but you really sound like you just want to see the world burn. Oh, the current world, totally. I do. Yeah, what we live in pure evil. Yeah, no, the current world is wrong in every way. I do want to see it burn. That's great. I would like to see, all good people survive. What was I talking about? We're at 1 minute in real life. I can't remember. This was only a couple of minutes ago. 10 minutes ago. What was I talking about? What is Doomsday? It was announced. Announcement. Noddy returning, and they followed. No, Jodie returning. I got one. Yes, that is Doomsday, right? That is true. Fine. Okay, back to what we're talking about. The Last of Us. So, here's the thing. I keep criticizing it. This is why I'm struggling. This is why I'm tumbling over my words, because there's so much to criticize in this, but the towering strength of the story kind of carries it through, right? I don't know how they came up with such a good story, but they really did. The world building is excellent. The zombies are excellent. I mean, they play up the zombie aspect much more in the TV show. It was better in the game. Is this the game Wikipedia I'm looking at, or is this the TV show? Right. TV series. There you go. Fine. The execution of it I found not great. It was somewhat truncated. I think that we had 2 seasons worth of story told over 1 season. It kind of like jumped a lot, and it's desire to be woke, right? We're discussing what woke is. It had 1 misfire, 1 incredibly strong fire, which is really strange. I think Nick Offerman episode is probably one of the best things I've seen on TV, right? I really thought it was a genuinely beautiful love story. I don't really care it was a gay one, because it was a story, right? I liked it being a story. So that's the confusion with The Last of Us. There's a lot of greatness and a lot of like things I'm just not that happy about with it, right? But let's go through it episode by episode. I think that will give us a good overview, right? When You're Lost in the Darkness, that's episode 1. Is this a double episode? Man, the ratings are infinitesimal, but it went up. Okay, look at that. The ratings went up with time. It's like 0.58, 0.63, 0.74, 0.91. Okay, then it crashed down for Endure Survive. People did not like that, and then it went back up again. And then it grew its audience. That's impressive, right? It really did grow its audience. Fine. So episode 1 in 2003, a mass fungal infection of mutated cordyceps that sparks a global pandemic. Yeah. So this is basically shot for shot from the game. 2003. There's weird stuff going on. Military everywhere. Everything's going crazy. Joel is just back from Desert Storm and trying to survive with his brother and his daughter Ellie. Not Ellie, but clearly Ellie is a substitute for his daughter. Can't remember what it is. Sarah is his daughter, right? So they flee, and at the end of the scene, the sequence, his daughter's killed, right? And that kind of kills something in Joel, right? And then it goes to 20 years later. It's 2023, right? And it's post-apocalyptic. Joel lives in a quarantine zone, QZ, in Boston, managed by the Federal Disaster Response Agency, FEDRA, right? Who are essentially this fascist government. They played that up a lot more from the game to the TV. I don't remember noticing so much in the game, right? You got the feeling that Fedra was a bit dirty, right? But it wasn't really, I think, a high point of the game. So he's a smuggler working with partner Tess, played by, what's her name? Anna Tove from Fringe. I thought she was great in this. That's the thing. There's so much good in this, as well as shit. Pulling against each other. So when somebody fails to, so his brother doesn't contact them from Wyoming. They pay a local dealer, Robert, for a car battery, but he scams them and sells it to the Fireflies, the rebel group opposing Fedra. And again, you get the idea that Nova's really a good guy in this. Attempting to retrieve it, Joe and Tess encounter Marlene, the Fireflies leader. There's a great scene where, and this is a scene that introduced Tess, right? With Anatol. She's like being held and beaten in a basement, right? Because like they think that if she let her go, Joel's going to kill them. And she's like, no, look, I'll lie to Joel. It's fine. Just let me go. This is stupid. Right. And she's just talking her way out. And suddenly, boom, the room blows up. And there's fighting going on because basically the wall's collapsing. So fine. So they're trying to get their battery back, and they go. They're in the fireplace, and we see there earlier that they're keeping this girl Ellie prisoner there. Ellie's played by what's the name, Ramsey, played by what's the name? Where's the cast? Bella Ramsey, right? Bella Ramsey, who's 19 and like very, very woke, right? Very, very adherent to social media algorithms of what is moral and what is not, right? Very adherent to those things. So, and also, look, I like, she doesn't look overly like, she's not Hollywood star feminine, right? She looks like, you know, a normal girl, but doesn't look like a Hollywood movie star. So she's like, so I think she's being pushed into saying that she's, you know, less female and more fluid because of that. So yeah, she's miscast. So they meet up. They have to take Ellie to Massachusetts safe house in exchange for a working truck. Right? They're desperate to get her out. While sneaking her out the QZ, the three run into a soldier on the outside. It's the same soldier that Joel sold pills to earlier. He tests them for infection and reveals that Ellie is positive. Yeah, oh man. So it starts off the first episode, like when this kid gets out, wanders in from like, you know, the post-apocalyptic world. Here, I've got a picture. Wanders in from the post-apocalyptic world, right? Makes it to the QZ, and they come in and they test the kid, and it goes, turns red. They said, don't worry, we're just going to give you an injection, right? And it kills them, essentially. But yeah, there's lots of very good post-apocalyptic stuff going on. So Ellie's infected, right? But she's not being turned into a fungus zombie. They have a great introduction, by the way, in the pre-title sequence when it's like a clip from the 70s of like from a late night talk show, sort of like intellectual talk show, where they talking about different like ways of apocalypses, and the one doctor saying, "Oh yeah, viral apocalypse. We're worried about that," and he said, "I'm more worried about this, you know, the fungal apocalypse." So it's yeah, I mean, that was a great introduction. Look, in terms of TV, it's solid TV. By the time I finished episode 1, which I think was the episodes 1 and 2, I was I thought this was a good, reasonably good TV, but I thought the game was far superior. Right. So basically, they decide they got to protect her because she's not turning into a zombie, even though she's infected with the fungal stuff. Right. So then episode 2, it's 2 days before the worldwide outbreak in Jakarta, in Indonesia, the government shows an infected corpse to a mycologist. They're like, I mean, is fungus really this impossible to destroy? Right? I mean, is it really? I thought you had poured alcohol on it and dried it out and killed it. No? I look, I'm not an expert in this stuff. And they say, yeah, look, it's changed because it can survive in the heat of a human body where it wasn't able to before. And they kind of tacitly link that to global warming. Again, woke. any adherence to current social media algorithms' idea of what is moral. That really turning into such a great definition. So 2 days before the outbreak, yeah. So we see this is, I think, the initial outbreak, and the idea is, I think, the fungus spread through grain, through bread, and it's subtly hinted. Like Joel was supposed to pick up a birthday cake for Sarah in the first episode at the beginning, and he forgot, right? And it's because they didn't have bread; they probably weren't infected. But yeah, that sort of spread too. And there is this fungus that like takes control of insects and makes them walk around and do stuff, but nothing like this, right? So anyway, yeah, it's a good pre-title sequence where she sees it and says, "There's nothing we can do, puppy. Yeah, send me home to my family." Right? It says, "Just bomb everything. That's just as much as you can." Clearly not enough. In the present. So she wants. They should have nuked it there. Ellie explains to Joe and Tess that she is being transported west in the hopes of being used to find a cure. Discovering that the path to the state house is swarmed by with infected. I guess it had to go through the state house. They cut through a history museum. Yeah, all this is taken directly from the game. And again, I thought this was all reasonably entertaining. If somewhat standard, reasonably. It wasn't derivative, because I remember this was good storytelling, right? And again, it was good from the game. But we've just seen this so many times before. But I did this is where it's clever, where it does the post-apocalyptic stuff in an interesting way. It's going through the history museum with the two like massively infected, they're called clickers. They got like lots and lots of fungus all over them. Discovering them, fine. So they have to go through the museum where they are attacked by blind infected known as clickers, and Ellie is bitten. They arrive at the state house and they find the fireflies dead. Tess reveals she was bitten, right? And so you didn't realize that, but they've been together basically since the beginning of the apocalypse, right? While Ellie's bite begins to heal, proving her immunity. So Joel shoots an infected, which alerts the swarm to the location Yeah, they didn't really pick that up after that. You know, the mycelial roots can like detect over hundreds of miles of where different ones of them are. But they totally like dropped that superpower. I guess there wouldn't be a way of really writing around that. So Tess convinces him that he's got to look after Ellie. Just like Baby Yoda. Right? Just like Baby Yoda, you got to look after Ellie. I said, but Baby Yoda's cute. See, the problem with Ellie, the Bella Ramsey casting of Ellie, is she's not sweet. In the game, it was a little girl, right? A 14-year-old girl who was just a nice girl, and you wanted, to protect her, right? She plays her much more cunty, right? And I don't think it really helps them at all. Right, and I don't think she's as good an actress as the video game, sadly. Anyway, so Tessa's going to take Ellie to their allies in Lincoln, Massachusetts. They got to go to find Nick Offerman. He's going to work out what to do with her. While she stays behind, blowing up the building herself, along with the horde of infected. Okay. So right now, episodes 1 and 2, we got bog standard zombie movie, right? And then we move into episode 3, which I think one of the best hours of TV I've seen in a long time. Genuinely excellent. Here, one second. Let me look at some images. 1 second. Nick Offerman, Last of Us. I think this is a combination of a good story, good script, but Nick Offerman just knocking it out the bloody park with this thing. Like, absolutely fantastic in this. Get some picture of him there. Now, I think one of the reasons this is good is that he's not okay. It's all about his big gay love affair, right? But he's not introduced as a gay character. He's introduced as a character, right? And you know, we've had so much like really disgraceful tokenism, which I think that's a fair way of describing it. Disgraceful tokenism. That I'm just really sick of it, right? And I couldn't stand it. But in some things, but in this, I think it's this again was a real genuine story. So good for them. Fine. So the Nick Offerman story. Let's read from the Wikipedia. Where am I? There we go. Doink. Now I've lost the screen that I'm broadcasting it. Streaming. I don't want to go there. There you go. The Rabbi moves slightly. I know it's always tricky. It's always tricky. Fine. So long time. Joe and Ellie, and now juxtapose this to episode 7, I think, which is the Ellie's lesbian awakening. That is shit, right? That is genuine. That is The Last of Us season 1. Brilliant and shit. Brilliant shit and mediocre. It's kind of an interesting combination thing, but with this incredibly strong story running all the way through it. So we're fine. So the long time. So they on their way to meet Bill and Frank. Ellie sees evidence of government execution of innocents in the early days. Yeah, that's the other thing. Great time jump in this. They see a skeleton of a woman's skeleton and a baby, and then you go back and see the woman before she was shot, right? Because there wasn't enough room for people. Also, while they're walking in this episode, there's like a crash plane. They see she's like, "Wow, I can't believe people used to fly," right? So, so they flash back to the early days of it. While that woman's being evacuated, she's soon going to be murdered, and whenever is gone. Nick Offerman comes out and he's like a survivalist who's got like this hidden chamber, survival bunker. And as soon as everybody's gone, he sets to work getting supplies together to fortify his village, fortify his like block, right, to keep everybody out. And he develops this like quite a nice little life for himself. He's got meat, he's got electricity. He's doing well for himself, right? So then, by 2007, Frank, who ends up being his husband, lover, whatever, stumbles upon Bill, the paranoid survivalist, and who reluctantly takes him in. Says, "Look, I just want a meal. I won't do anything, please." Right? And again. You don't know anyone who's gay at this point, right? And it's over the mill, right? With the connect because it's I think they're both so lonely, right? Certainly Bill is so lonely, right? And like Joel, not Joel, Frank is, he's eating wine and he's eating steak. It's like they're both close to tears. It's a very emotional moment, and that's how they come out that it's gay. They're gay, and he gently opens up. Nick Offerman gently opens up to him, right, and they get into bed with each other very graphically. But again, maybe it's Nick Offerman's performance that really pulls the whole thing together. It was like shy and nervous. And it's just it's sweet. I mean, it really is. It genuinely is. And again, just a great performance. So then it's really about their life, right? And they so then they're meeting up with Tess and Joel, and they're saying, "Look, I don't want to be involved." This is from Frank's influence, right? Frank's like, "We gotta have friends and people. The people are coming over," and Frank's like, Bill's like, "What? No one's coming out. Are you out of your mind?" says, no, we're having a meal. And basically, so he fires up a relationship. He's got respect for Joel. And he says, listen, we can get you some special wire that will be better for your fence. The last 100 years, this is going to be useless in about 2 years. And they straight something up. So then a few years later, Raiders attack them, right? And Bill's got all these like really cool automated defenses set up. Again, this episode is freaking incredible. It's just everything just hits on this episode beautifully. Really, really well done. So it's got all these traps set up to fight off the people, but he's shot, and then Frank is like dragging him in. He's like trying to do surgery and get the bullet out. And Bill's like, listen, just cool. You can't survive here on your own. Call Joel, okay? He'll come and look after everything. And he passes it. Then the next thing you know is like more time's gone by and somebody's in a wheelchair. It turns out that Frank's in a wheelchair. And now he's got, no. We have this other scene, right? We have this other great scene after that where they go run, or maybe it's before that, I can't remember, where they're running and Bill's like really, out of shape, and Frank's doing better, trying to get Bill in shape. And he said, look, I got a surprise for you. And again, I think this was a beautiful fucking scene, right? Where he comes and shows the surprise. He's grown strawberries. It's the first time they had strawberries in about 5-10 years. I don't know. And they're crying. And it just feels genuine. I really like this. Right? So then so it turns out that Frank is old. In fact, Frank has got Alzheimer's or something. Oh yeah, not Alzheimer's, some debilitative disease. I'm not sure which. And he's being looked after by Bill and taking all these pills. And then basically he says, listen, if it wasn't the end of the world, I think we'll keep going, but what's the point? There's nobody left. And he says, I want to, marry you, have a perfect day. You're going to make me dinner. And then you're going to give me wine, and you're going to fill it with pills, and I'm going to go to bed and go to sleep, and that'll be it. I'm done. Right. And again, such a powerful scene from Nick Offerman, right? Like you see him he's got it. This is because I so relate to this, right? I so relate to his character, like how I would feel in that situation, right? And so they do that. Like they have the perfect day. They make themselves, he makes himself like a dinner. And it turns out that he's also poisoned himself as well. And they die together. And again, look, I'm not a big fan of suicide, right? Suicide pact. In the context of the end of the world, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's fine, right? It's fine. So, stunning episode. Absolutely stunning episode. Kind of disgustingly, though, it's being held up by woke people as something that's so beautiful just because it's about gay people. No, it's a searing love story with a incredible performance, right? And it's the people just love it because it's about gay people, right? And that's really one of the things wrong in the bloody world today. Fine. So then it goes gear change, and we're back into like normal territory. But it actually they're moving too quickly at this point, right? Next 2 or 3 episodes should have been really taking them to the end of the season, quite frankly, right? There's a lot of drama here that they just like concertina down, right? So traveling through Missouri, Joe and Ellie turn up at the end of episode 3, and they're going to and they basically inherit everything, right? And he's like, and they load up the car. They got tons of ammunition, tons of supplies. They're all doing really, really well, and off they go. That lasts for about a minute or so into the second episode. In the next episode, again, this truncated storytelling. Wasn't they should have just let the story play out rather than saying we're going to do the first season of the first game, because I can tell they're itching to get to the second game to legitimize it, and it's not going to work, right? If they do what they did in the second game in the second season and kill Joe off in like the first reel, right? They're over, right? It is over. I mean, season 3 would be pulled if it was already greenlit, right? It's not going to happen, right? And I don't think David Zaslav would actually let it happen if he knows it's going down. All right. Okay. Where are we at? So anyway, we start episode 4, and they're minted. They got tons of stuff. They're driving, and they get to this blockage, right, by Missouri. And they have to, and they can't go through the freeway, so they have to go into town. So yes, we'll just take a cut. We'll be on the freeway in a second, right? But they take some wrong turns and they're ambushed by the bandits. And I kind of like the lo-fi action with it, because again, this worked in the early part of the game because you have to build up with more ammunition. So now you got like single bolt rifles, which is I thought pretty good. And it was again this low creeping, very genuine suspense, right? So now we're into like the people are the bad guys more than anything else. So where are we up to? Joel kills 2 of the bandits, but a third overpowers him and nearly chokes him to death before Ellie saves him by shooting Frank's pistol. Oh yeah, she took the gun at the end of episode 3 and she hid it. She didn't tell him about it. More bandits find the bodies. Their leader, Kathleen, a real girl boss, a real Karen girl boss, believes Joel now may be in contact with a man named Henry and orders a manhunt. Right, so we get deep into like this side quest, different like this whole political shenanigery. And again, I think it would have been stronger had they played it out over a longer time, right? Or found some way of connecting it with the Joe and Ellie story more and presaging it somehow, right? But they didn't. So it just feels disjointed and episodic, right? Even though good, because the story they have behind it of this game is so searingly good, it carries it, right? It absolutely does carry it. So they're looking for Joel, and Ellie. So it's a massive manhunt. Joel counsels Ellie about fire. They have no. So there's also they're not Fedra. They've kind of taken over from Fedra. You get a feeling a revolution has just happened, right? And again, had we known more, it probably would have been better. But again, they were just in too much of a rush. So Joel's starting to open up about Ellie, about the firefight, about having to kill people, and starting to care about her a bit more, right? Which I mean, that's basically the point. The point of the game and point of the story, right? How he gets over his emotional blocks. So what are we up to? We got this massive manhunt going on. And so after the talk about the firefight, he gives her the pistol back and says, keep it in your backpack. Kathleen's second in command, Perry, who is like the psycho dude, thinks he's found Henry's hideout, but something is growing underneath the building. Kathleen orders it's kept secret until they find Henry. So there's a big, like, huge big pussy boil of fungus is about to explode in the building or something like that. It doesn't look good. So then again, I like the world building of this episode as well. When they go to a high rise to sleep, because it's probably one of the safer places. They put glass out so no one's going to find them, and they'll scout away out the city in the daylight, having lost everything they just gained in the last episode. Was it they awaken to find Henry and his younger brother Sam holding a gun to them. Yeah, so they're the people that they're looking for, right? So now episode 5, we do a little bit of a backtrack and we find out what's going on. Where are we up to? So Henry and Sam make again 2 episodes. This could have been 3 or 4 easily. Henry and Sam make a tentative truce And Joe and Ellie want to. Sorry. Henry and Sam make a tentative truth, and Joe with Joe and Ellie. Joe wants to part ways, but Henry proposes they escape in the city using the underground tunnels that he knows the way through. Joe hesitantly agrees. Henry confesses to Joe that he was responsible for the death of Kathleen's brother, turning him over to Fedra in exchange for medication for Sam's leukemia. Yeah, this seems a little bit too esoteric for like 20 years after a zombie apocalypse, right? Like, if it's got like I don't think he would have made it that far. Like, how did he survive? I don't know. Ellie and Sam quickly become friends. That's a good bit, right? I did, because they're both the same age. They're like kids, and they got this love of comics going on, which is fun. Yeah, it's yeah. So Ellie they become friends. So they escaping through the tunnels. They find a like a now deserted bunker where people lived, where people survived. And they so this episode called Endure and Survive, where people survived, and eventually they somehow they all got killed. So they go out through through the tunnels, but on the way out they're attacked by a sniper, right? Again, it's a good scene how Joel like sneaks around the back and gets them, and he's in contact with the Kathleen. They're just going to call her a Karen with Kathleen, and who and so they're coming to get them, and they're rounding up on them, and all of a sudden, as they're about to attack, a huge zombie horde breaks out. Great. Again, I like the design of the zombies in this. So you get this great scene where Ellie's pinned in a car by a little what's it called again? Fungus zombie guy. And I like the fungus growing out of her face. It looked very good, right? So they make it out by the skin of their teeth. Kathleen is killed by the zombies, and they survive. Yay! So they go and hide out. But it turns out that Sam has been bitten on the leg, and Ella's like, no problem, I got safe blood. So she cuts her pad and gives blood, rolls her blood into Sam's wound. And says, will you stay awake with me? Sure. Next thing you know, it's the morning and she's asleep and she's waking up and Sam's in there sitting on the bed. Has he turned? Yes, he is. He tries to kill her. And then Joel's about to kill him, but what's his name? Henry won't let it happen, right? But he's like, I don't know. And eventually he shoots his brother, right? Shoots Sam. And now he's so traumatized. Right, he doesn't know what to do, and he puts his gun to it and just shoots himself, right? Because he sacrificed everything to save his brother. Now he just shot his brother, right? It is a little bit dark. So yeah, again, bit of a pacing problem with this one. Episode 6, Kin, right? Is this the anti-Christian one? Yes, probably. Again, is it woke? Yes. Does it adhere to current social media algorithms about what is and what is not moral? Yes. So therefore, it is woke, right? That is the definition of woke. By jiggery, does that definition work? Right? It just totally, absolutely works. I just looked at my stats for Rumble. If you're on Rumble, can you hit the subscribe button? My stats are so crazily higher. It's just bizarre how much better they're doing on Rumble. Anyway, where are we up to? We're up to episode Kin, right? Fine. So Kin, it's 3 months after Henry and Sam's death, and Joe and Ellie reach a small, thriving community in Jackson, Wyoming, where Joe is reunited with Tommy. Yeah, they should have just stayed there. Whose wife is pregnant with Maria is pregnant, and he says he wasn't allowed to speak because he wasn't allowed to let anybody know about this. Ellie learns about Sarah's fate from who's Sarah? From Maria. Joe, who's Sarah? Ellie learns about Sarah's fate. Oh, from Maria. Fine. Sarah was Joel's daughter, right? And then Joel's warming up, bit more with each episode. So he wants to. Joe asks Tommy to take Ellie to the Fireflies as he's afraid he cannot keep her safe. So Ellie's pissed off by that. She overhears and confronts him. Joel, who insists they will part ways. Joel changes his mind after remembering Sarah, and he and Ellie travel to Colorado on horseback to find the Fireflies, and that they but they've vacated their medical base in the school, right? Possibly relocated to Utah. Joel and Ellie attempt to escape, but they're caught by a group of raiders. Joel is hurt, they're killed, and they manage to get away. And Joel's close to death, right? So left behind is this is the annoying Ellie's lesbian awakening episode. So Joel's nearly dead. He's unconscious, in a basement. And meanwhile, the people, the friends of the raiders that attacked them and nearly killed them, are looking for them. And there's a manhunt going on. So they're hiding out, and he's on he's got blood, exploding out of him. She doesn't think he's going to survive. Covers him with a blanket and starts to go. Then she thinks back. Right, thinks back to I remember when I was a lesbian in Federal military school. She was with her best friend Riley. This is also introduced a big black woman in the next episode, in next season, that she can be her girlfriend, right? Who was a big black girl, which that's in every is it woke? Yes, that's follow social media algorithms of idea of what morality is currently. So she causes fight with the peers, but the guy in charge, the commandant, I'm not sure if this is a bit of anti-Asian hate because the commandant's in charge, right? But it felt kind of like that. He said, listen, you're smart, you can be an officer, or you're just gonna be a grunt. You can be cleaning latrines, or you're gonna what you want, right? Just keep your head down. You can totally be an officer, right? So she's been off the rails since her roommate left. Again, the giant black woman. And then at night, the giant black woman sneaks back and says, "Listen, I joined the Fireflies, but I want you to come away with me just for one night, one magical night." And so she takes her to an arcade that's just been reconnected up with power that nobody knows about, and so it's all closed off, and basically everything's fine. They have a magical night together where what's her name, Bella Ramsey, clearly keeps playing it like she's very, very, very horny for her roommate. It was just not very subtle, right? Finally, after they fall out, they get back together and they kiss magically. They're attacked by zombies. They're both eaten, bitten. They think they're both going to die, and obviously she doesn't, and the other one does, and she has to kill her. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, God, it was just shit. I'm sorry, that episode was shit. So now we're going back to the Christian hatred, right? Wait. At the end of the episode, she decided, I'm not going to leave him, and she goes back and finds a needle and thread and starts sewing up his wound, right? And she decides to try and save him, right? So Ellie goes to hunt for food, right? And she managed to get a deer, but there's a weird town of preacher with a preacher in charge, and they're it seems a bit weird, this weird town, right? And things seem a bit fishy there. We don't know what. They're all starving, and he's violent, but he's not. I don't know. Anyway, so she manages to shoot a deer, and they find and it says, "I'll tell you what, we'll trade you half the deer because they're starving for penicillin." So he says, "Go back and get the penicillin," to the guy who's with them. Where are we up to? So she gets a penicillin. She trades the deer for penicillin. David recalls the man who stabbed Joel was a member of his group. Ellie, so they're all pissed off that he's dead, and they want revenge. Ellie leaves. Ellie leaves to treat Joel. The next day, she's going with David and his men have followed her back to seek vengeance on Joel. She flees to draw them away, but is captured. At David's camp, he revealed to be his feet. Yeah, again, too bloody quickly. This is honestly, this whole plot line could have been a season, a half a season. I think they should have done episode 6 onwards for season 2, right? They could have done a lot more, and it just too truncated. They're too interested in being woke. It's just what it is. Where are we up to? So she gives him the penicillin and he starts to recover. And then she's captured. But it turns out they're eating human flesh. These are bad people. These aren't preachers at all. And that's why they all look so sickly. Meanwhile, Joel awakens and tortures some of David's men to finding out where Ella's camp is. He reveals that he's been feeding his friends human flesh. Joel awakens. I just read that. David and James attempt to kill Ellie, but she kills James and escapes. David hunts her down and tries to. Oh yeah, he wants to. Yeah, just add it in. He's also going to rape her, which is like, oh, it was too much, right? But she overpowers him and kills him with a meat cleaver. Joel finds a traumatized Ellie outside the cult, but why couldn't he have saved her? Like, it's just annoying. It was genuinely annoying. And after that, they love each other so much, right? Now they're all lovey-dovey, right? They're completely, again, just too quickly, right? It's just, the pacing is wrong. So then we get the final episode, the controversial final episode. We have a flashback to Ellie being born and her mother, and she's bitten during childbirth, and then she gives the baby as a friend to the woman who's in charge of the Fireflies we saw in the first episode, right? So that's where they basically get her to them. Joel awakens in hospital, and she explains the doctors are prepping Ellie for surgery. They're very, very hopeful that they can develop a cure. And how they're going to do it is they're going to get the fungus out of. What happens is, because she was being born as she was being infected, she gives out a chemical which tells the fungus not to do anything, right? So if they go into the fungus in her, they can get that chemical. They can duplicate it, and it's a cure for the entire world, right? They can literally end everything. So, but wait a minute, cordyceps just grow in the brain. So yeah, that's true. So they've got to dissect her brain. Joel, not so. So again, interesting moral quandary, right? I would say somewhat brilliant to be honest. Because again, the strength of the storytelling is just very, very, very strong. I mean, it's just the bottom line. It's very, very strong. And Joel's like nothing, and he goes on a one-man killing spree to save Ellie, right? And eventually they get back to Jackson, where Tommy, his brother, is, where they're going to settle down. And she says, "Okay, just swear to me the story about the Fireflies is true, right?" Says, anyway, Joel lies and tells her that her Fireflies had already failed to develop a cure from other immune people, right? Just said it wasn't going to work. He didn't mention that he murdered everybody, right? And so as they reach, says, "Okay, I'll go with you, but just promise you weren't lying," right? The whole thing you're talking about the Fireflies is true. He says, "Okay." So again, lots of interesting moral ambiguity, great storytelling, good characters, terrible pacing, horrible, some horrible casting. It's been 84 years. Ellie in guess. I don't understand what that means. But some horrible. I think Bella Ramsey was the wrong choice, but still, look, I think even through its horrible mismanagement, it managed to make a when you add it up, an okay season of television, right? Bits of brilliance, bits of awfulness, and mostly average, right? But the average at least was based on something of sheer brilliance, right? The Nick Offerman episodes lifts this up. It just does. It's fantastic. Everything else, I don't know. I've not much hopes for the second season whatsoever. This is not something I would recommend getting HBO Max for. I still think playing the game is a much more enjoyable experience. I really genuinely do. I think it tells the story better and the pacing is better, right? I think the whole thing is better in the game. Okay, that's my take on it. Fine, man, that went on a lot longer than I thought it would. Really, I'm quite amazed at it. Listen, I wanted to do a real review of it. Okay, so join me tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a shorter show. I'm not sure we're going to have new titles for it yet. I might, if I have time, I will. But tomorrow's going to be a shorter show. We're going to read an article or two and talk about whatever current news. It's going to be like a daily show. I don't know. Is the Tuesday show going to go back to live at 5, like the big 2-hour one? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Or dares to dream. Fine. With that. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button and I'm going to hit it again. And that Wizzy with a love goes around and around and around again. We're still in.